So I got this brand new tent the other day, and it came with these guy lines to tie to the rain fly. They just came tied on, and I untied them because I didn't want them hanging there all the time. But I decided that probably what's going to happen is the one time I need to tie down the tent and tie down the rain fly with the guy lines, it's probably already going to be storming when I'm setting up the tent, and I'm just going to want to get it set up as fast as I can, and I probably don't want to have to bother with threading these through and then tying it up, and I was probably going to want to make it as simple as possible so I can get it up and set up as fast as I can. So let me show you kind of the process of what I came up with. So my first idea of something that would work really well, that would be really easy, would just to have like a wooden toggle that you just shove through, and it turns on the top, and then you pull the line and that holds it tight, and that would probably work really well. It probably wouldn't come undone, probably be perfectly secure. But the problem with that was the tent came with rope. It didn't come with a toggle, but so I decided to go with something else, but it's a good enough idea I wanted to mention it. So my first idea after that was this thing here. So what this is it's got a stopper knot and a loop, and what you do, it's got this little tail on the end of the stopper knot, and that's just to help you thread through a lot easier, like that. Pull that through, then you take your loop, go like that, pull that through, and this tightens down past the loop like that, and then you have a nice secure attachment that's really easy. It only takes a couple seconds, and this works really good. So the cool thing about this is it'll work on anything you can thread into. It'll work on a fabric loop, it'll work on a grommet, it'll work, you know, around a tree branch, or it'll work around another loop. So this is a pretty flexible solution. But you know, for my tent, I wanted it to be even a little easier, and I'm going to have a set of dedicated guy lines. So I figured I could simplify this. So what I decided to do is I could just permanently attach the stopper knot to the rain fly, and then the guy line could just have a loop at the end. So what I ended up doing is I ended up taking a short length of this orange rope. I think this is 10 inches, and just tying a knot on like that. Neaten that up a little bit, just like that. So on the guy line, you just have a loop. You just grab it like that, pull it through like that, and that's all you need. So this makes the end of the guy line a little less messy. You don't use up as much length of your guy line, and what you're leaving on the fly is just, you know, a little dongle. It's nothing, right? But I decided to improve on this even further. So what I'm actually going to use is this. So it's basically the same thing. Take the loop at the end, tighten it down like that. But this little tab on it, it's just a pull tab, it just loosens the knot, so it just comes off even easier. So all it's got is, it's just got the normal loop. At the end, it's just got a length of, this is just paracord sheath, and it's just got an overhand knot to tie it onto the end of the loop, and then another overhand knot at the end, and just about an inch long, and it's just a pull tab. So look at this again. Put your fingers through, grab the rope, open it up, grab the stopper knot, and pull it tight. Really easy. So for the version that has both the stopper knot and the loop on the guy line, what I do is I start with the stopper knot first, and like that. This rope is acting a little weird because it's wet. Start with the stopper knot like that. Then I go about 5 inches, like that, maybe 5.5, like that, so it's in thirds. Then down here, I tie my overhand knot on a bite, that. And that gives you enough space to get your fingers in there, like that. So you don't want to do much smaller of a loop than this, otherwise you won't be able to get your fingers to pull through very well. But yeah, that's all it takes, is that. And there we go. And then, so using those measurements, you end up with a nice configuration where the knot isn't at the top, where it's just a loop at the top and the knot is on the side. And that works pretty well. So that's how you tie that one. The other version with just loop is just as easy to tie. You just take about 5 inches, fold it over on itself, and start tying the knot down here. And that, and there you go. So after you got this loop, you're just going to want to trim this tail off a little here, because it can get in the way. When you make the loop, it can stop, so it makes it just a little bit of a hassle to get around that knot. But that's all that takes. So it's a really easy, really simple solution, and you can see without the pull tab, it's still easy to take this off, but you kind of have to. You couldn't do it with gloves on very easily. So there we go. Hopefully people find that useful and helpful. So there we go.